Welcome back, everyone, and very good evening to all of you. I trust you had a refreshing break and you are ready to jump onto our second session for the day and the last session for our CPD pedagogy series. We are about to dive into the topic from passive to proactive, the flipped approach to ignite lifelong learning. This session is essential and it will provide you with innovative techniques to revolutionize your teaching practices and student engagement. It's my honor to introduce our esteemed speaker for the day, Miss Aditya. A CELTA certified English language teacher and neuro language coach, Miss Aditya has Miss Aditya has extensive experience in coaching individuals and organizations through training program tailored for international clients. With TESOL Business English and Teacher Trainer certification, she combines pedagogical expertise with brain-based learning strategies. As the founder for EduZog Private Limited, she has been empowering learners for all age groups. Now, before we move ahead, a quick reminder for the quiz that is scheduled at the end of this particular session. Do wait in the chat box as we will be sharing a quiz link with all of you, and winners will have a chance to win Amazon vouchers worth up to 25,000. So give it to your best. Now, some housekeeping rules. All the participants will be muted throughout the session. Do ensure that you have a pen and paper to note down the important information. The chat box will be open during the Q&A round and as required by the speaker. For all the e-certificates, you have to fill the feedback form, which is going to be there on your registered email address after the session ends. And like I mentioned previously, we have a quiz scheduled for today after this particular session ends. So do wait till the end of the session for the exciting quiz. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Akriti, for that lovely introduction. Welcome, everyone. I'm seeing some of you or most of you for the third time this week. I truly appreciate your support. It has been an amazing journey with you all. Thank you, S. Chan and Ms. Priyamada, for this wonderful opportunity. I know it's Saturday evening, it's 6 o'clock in the evening, and most of you would be tired and almost ready to close the day. I hope to keep you happy and entertained in the next 40 minutes. I'm deeply thankful to each one of you present here. The topic that I'm going to share my insights about is from passive to proactive, the flipped approach to ignite lifelong learning. We've had a couple of sessions in this series of learning about the secrets of learning. This is another session in connection with the learning experiences that we teachers create for our students. To help me get to know you one more time, one last time, please share your name, location, and what you hope to achieve today in the chat box. Nandita from Gujarat. Welcome, Nandita. Thank you so much for that lovely comment. What do you want to achieve, Nandita, out of today's last webinar session? Thank you, Lakshmi. Happy to see you again too. Jyoti, Yamunanagar, lifelong learning approach. Varsha, Noida, welcome, Varsha. Every bit of your knowledge. Thank you. Vijay Lakshmi from Chennai. To enjoy. I'm glad. All right, thank you. Jaya, welcome again from Chennai. Desire to become a perfect teacher. Wow, okay, that's a bigger goal. All the very best. All right. I'd also like to ask you two more questions before we get started. Drop the name of your role. Let it be a teacher or an educator in general, but I wish to see the role of your, yes, fantastic. So when you say teacher, could you be a little bit more precise? Grade 2 teacher, English teacher? I see teacher, educator, English teacher, Jayashri, thank you. Nandita, Jyoti, thank you. Grade 2 math teacher, Rajashri, welcome. Math, social science teacher, Shelley. Class 11 and 12, Jaya, English teacher. West Bengal, Anjana, lifelong learning approach, and you're a Hindi teacher. Marathi teacher, Vaishali, thank you. Excellent. Tamil department, Sai Vijaya, Kala, English teacher, math teacher. Great. Keep it flowing, please. Sharada, that's a bigger goal. How to make impossible possible. It comes with the mindset, and I appreciate every thought of that. All right. As a certified language coach with my CELTA background, I admire all communicative approaches of teaching and coaching English. I'm passionate about helping learners understand their unique learning styles and patterns. This is a key aspect of most of my sessions. I'm really curious here about your roles as educators. So my next question would be to people who teach, because I see so many teachers with a variety of expertise. What is your favorite teaching framework? Or what teaching frameworks do you use in your classroom? I'm dropping mine. Discussion-based, Angeline, thank you so much for that initiation. Audio, video, open-ended, Versha, okay. TLM, okay. Facilitator, okay. Is that the role, Milsey? Thank you so much. You're welcome to also explore the second question, group activity with mind mapping. Very good. Activity-based learning, story-based. Wow, playway method. Real-time examples, Sharada, make it more descriptive. Interactive role play. Fantastic oral assessment. Mapping group activity, role play, storytelling, okay. All together, yeah. Priscilla, I think you're right. Most often we end up using many frameworks, many techniques, many approaches. Great. Thank you so much for that healthy participation in the chat box. Akriti, I want to ask you to help me here with the poll that I would love to see if our participants are interested in answering. Would you
Sure,
be able
ma'am.
to the poll for me?
Sure, ma'am.
So teachers, here we have a poll which is talking about a very burning question, the problems that we face. You can make 3 choices. Okay, I'm seeing a couple of reactions. Thank you so much for all those people who are participating. Great, 10, 11 people. We have 190 people on the call. So keep it flowing. I would love to see more responses. The poll asks you to select top 3 challenges you believe are the most significant in your classroom. The first one is maintaining student engagement. Second one, cultivating intrinsic motivation. Third one, addressing learning gaps. Fourth one, integrating technology meaningfully. Creating a supportive and inclusive classroom. And finally, homework. Yeah. We can give it a couple more seconds, Akriti, and then we can display the results. We'll just wait for a couple more people to answer. 40 people answered it. More participation. Every information is valuable. It's a discussion. Many of you told me that you all love group discussions. So this is also very similar to that, a conducive environment. Yes, Nandita. All right, I'll leave for the mark of 50 and then you can share the poll results. All right. Thank you, Akriti. Can we end the poll? Thank you. I think I can't launch the results. Would you be able to launch the results here?
Yes, ma'am. I have shared also.
Okay, so are the participants able to see the results? Give
Yes,
me
ma'am.
thumbs up if you're able to see the results. 67% for maintaining student engagement, it says. Thank you, Angeline. Thank you for confirming that. Look at the percentage, my dear friends. This is something that we are facing on our everyday job, everyday problems of a teacher. 67% of us are not happy that our engagement with students is not at its maximum potential. Look at that. People who have not shared your opinion, you're welcome to observe the percentage for one last time. And then I would love to take the inference from here and talk about it a little further. All right, thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing the results and I would love to start the presentation. Is that okay, Akriti? Can I do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. I can even put that on the screen for people to just have a look at it. 1 second. Many of us have chosen homework and student engagement. I would say the first and the last had a lot of importance in our discussion today. Poor performance of students is one of the reasons why we educators and other researchers across the globe are discovering many models, coming with unique solutions. There is an evolution taking place every day. Where is this discussion going, my dear friends? I want to set the stage here. In this webinar, we're going to talk mainly about what is flipped classroom, what is the main difference from traditional classroom to other active and other approaches. How was this different from that? Why? Is it not about classrooms? Are you talking about classroom management? What are we going to talk about and why? Why do we need flipped classroom? And how? How can we maximize the interaction and differentiate in-class work? In the next two slides rather, I'm going to show you two videos. The audio for the first one is not relevant. The second one, if you're not able to hear it, it's all right, but I would love to see your observations from the visual representation. Give me some thumbs ups in the chat if you're able to see a YouTube video here. Thank you, Manisha. Thank you so much for confirming that. Our topic says from passive to proactive. So having that in mind, I would love to ask you this question. What do you think of this style of teaching? Nandita, fantastic. Chalk and talk. It's not running. Was it working? Was it okay? Traditional way of teaching. Okay. Let me see if I'm able to play that one more time. Yeah. Traditional way. Very good. Rote method, Vijayalakshmi. Thank you. Poonam, board writing. Okay. Dr. Prague, traditional. Yes. Traditional way of teaching. Thank you, Shabnam, for that fantastic thumbs up. All right. We all agree that this is traditional way of teaching. Stereotype. Umesh. Experiential learning. Charu. Board method. Passive. Milsey. A very good buzzword and the keyword that you used, which is required for our session today. Thank you. Excellent. Teacher-centered, Jayashri, spot on. These are the words which I was really looking for. No interaction, Shiva, correct. Non-interactive, yes, Varsha. Right again. Shiva, I like the word monopoly. Yes, in terms of business transactions, probably this is typically monopoly. Teaching to board. Yeah. I'm going to show you the second video. Ang sitwasyon ng isang guro. Blackboard at sa kanilang guro. Magbili naman kayo ng trabaho na hindi kayo sa ating pamayanan. Yes. Mananakit? Okay, mananakit. In 30 seconds. Gusto kong makita. All right. Let me drop the YouTube link in the chat room. I think she is a Vietnam teacher. Stop it there. Many of you have already started sharing your observations. Fantastic teamwork, group activity, interactive classroom, play way, fun way. Yes. Students are active. Playway method. Yes. Interaction. Teamwork. Active participation. Joyful learning. I agree with that. The children were happy. When you watch the YouTube link after the session, you'll see how the children were extremely happy and actively engaged in the session. Child-centric, yes, Vinita. All are participating, correct. Montessori method, Madhu, could be. I can't comment on that, but I think most of you are intending to tell me that it is student-centered. It is something which is full of fun and learning, active. It is not passive anymore. Correct. I would like to share my insights and also kind of a collaborative effort of what we had in the chat room, the discussion. Our first video showcases a traditional teaching style. You were all right. The limitations, the cons that we have here, it is teacher-centered instruction, lecture-based, passive. Probably students are listening and making notes alone. Limited student interaction, possibly, and difficulty catering to diverse learning styles, potential for boredom and disengagement. This approach has its place. It can present certain limitations. These are some, and I've seen you all listing different types. The focus is on lectures. It may not cater effectively to different learning styles. Some students may struggle to absorb information through listening alone, while others may become disengaged due to lack of active participation. The second video displays a student-centric approach. Many of you used the right set of words to explain what that video says. Is this proactive? It focuses on student needs, interests, and learning styles. Hands-on activities, group work, you saw the teacher changing her commands and instructions based on the motivation of the students. The learning paces were different with different activities. She made them applaud. She had a group work. Then she moved on to a model representation. This was emphasizing on critical learning, critical thinking, problem-solving approach, and probably more into real-world application. In essence, the student-centered approach shifts the focus from the teacher to learner, empowering students to take ownership of their education and develop deeper understanding and critical thinking skills. Many of us have moved from passive styles to active styles. We want the learner-centric approach, student-centric approach, which are most commonly used in our education systems these days. However, in today's topic, I'm not talking about passive. I'm not talking about active alone. I'm talking about proactive approach. Is flipped classroom a proactive approach? I want to share a story. Story of Bergman and Sams. Around early 2000s, these two teachers from Woodland Park High School in Colorado discovered a software to record PowerPoint presentations. They recorded, posted their live lectures online for students who missed classes. Most of you work with hearts, yeah? Do you all go that extra mile to cater to your needs, cater to the students' needs? Give me a thumbs up in the chat box. How many of you do the same thing? Most often we want to just teach and give our heart out. Thank you, Manisha. Yes. So these two teachers during COVID, yes, Nandita, I agree. The learning and the wisdom, knowledge was sharing was happening because of teachers like you who are passionate. I appreciate that. And I'm very thankful that our teachers and our colleagues, fellow colleagues here, we are almost 254 people. All of us, we understand that problem and we emphasize on doing that. So coming back to the story, Bergman and Sams, they did the same. They recorded and posted their live lectures online for students who missed classes. The online lectures had some interactivity for student motivation. Bergman and Sams then saw a major difference in the classroom. Because of those online lectures, the learners needed more in the classroom. They wanted to delve deeper into the topics. The students were prepared. These teachers had to plan deeper learning experiences, activities for their learners, and the teachers had to emphasize more on understanding the concept, ideas of in-class activities. And some of you, as mentioned, COVID and the technology evolution has changed the mindset of in-class activities. The shift from passive to proactive learning through the flipped classroom model represent a significant pedagogical evolution poised to enhance lifelong learning practices. By fostering active involvement, catering to diverse learning needs, and promoting intrinsic motivation, this approach equips students with the skills necessary for lifelong success. As education continues to adapt to the needs of more modern learners, the flipped classroom could serve as a fundamental model for future teaching practices, emphasizing flexibility and engagement in learning. Going back to the poll that we had in the beginning, you all were concerned about student engagement. I think flipped classroom could be one answer to that problem. While actually researching about flipped classroom, I came across Dr. Marshall. Her contribution to flipped classroom amazed me. I'm going to drop the link in the chat box. Yes, Nandita, you're absolutely right. Flipped classroom works wonders with students. And in this YouTube video and in her studies, the more you dig deeper about Dr. Marshall and her studies and contribution towards flipped learning and flipped classroom, you will see that she describes low-level skills to move out of class. Here is a question, my dear friends, where I would appreciate every piece of your interaction in the chat box. Please tell me, what are those things as a math teacher, as an English teacher, as a Marathi teacher, as a Tamil teacher, Hindi, Telugu, whatever you teach, what are those aspects of your classroom can you move to out-of-class activities? I'm not talking about physical setup, my dear friends. I'm talking about synchronous online discussion. What can students do on their own pace at home? Drop them in the chat box, please. Nandita, I would ask you to start the discussion because you did say it works wonder. So what is that one thing that you can move out of your classroom? Reading, Vijay Lakshmi, yes, I do agree. Taking nature walk and write the observation. Yes, Varsha, writing observations could be something that you can move out of class. Learning lab, I'm not sure what that is. Content listening, yes, I agree, absolutely. Correlating things with nature, Manisha, yes. Observations, like what you mean, yeah. Nandita, writing skills too. What sort of writing skills? Can you go deeper? Discuss it with siblings at home, yes. Discussions and collaboration with community. Reading, role play, okay. Observation, like creative thinking, okay. Math teachers, tell me, what is that thing that you can move to out of class activities? I saw some math teachers there. Rote learning, okay, I'm not sure. Logical and reasoning, Jayashree, yes. Are you talking about concepts there? Bharati, I want to talk about what you just said, regular practice of math. Is that a homework you're talking about? Venkatesh says tests with media. Yes, assessments. Of course, we can do that. Mathematical equations can be taken out. Okay. I want you to keep this discussion going and think more from your perspective as a teacher. I'm going to show you what I can move out of the class. As an English teacher, I can move some of these aspects out of my class. As some of you mentioned, I can push the learning of reading, pre-reading tasks or listening tasks out of class so they can do on their own pace, pause, play again. They can do whatever they want at home and come prepared for the class the next day. Sometimes I have even given concept explanation, brainstorming and mind mapping. As somebody said in the chat box, mind mapping is an excellent technique where they need time and space. They can do all the drawing, sketch noting, connecting the mind maps. They can do that at home. Simple Googling, researching. I remember a couple of weeks ago, a student had a topic, cultural appropriation, as one of her topics, core topics in English literacy. Some of the texts had something about cultural appropriation. She knew the word culture, but she didn't know what is cultural appropriation. I'm talking about grade 6 or grade 7. So how did we start? The initiation happened. Okay, these are the topics. This is what you want to research. This is what you want to Google. Use the AI. Do the basic Googling at home. She came back with excellent insights. I have even pushed vocabulary items like understanding the meaning, translations, phrases and expressions, idioms. They can do that at home prior to the class. Sometimes I've even given the learning outcomes in advance, setting the pitch, setting the stage for them. They need not read the task instructions in the classroom. I have pushed even that when it is a bigger task, a collaborative task, a project-based activity. I've even done that. So it is very interesting to see in the chat box how you have actually moved some of your activities out of class time. Well done. Having all that discussion in mind, I want to ask you these two questions. Is flipped classroom about making videos for students to watch in advance? Am I presenting something in advance? Is that what flipped classroom is about? Is switching homework to classroom and classwork to homework, is this approach flipped classroom? Give me a yes or no answers in the chat box for the first two questions. Yes, Raghavi, thank you. No, it isn't. No, absolutely. No, yes, you were all right. It's about the learning. It's not about the classroom. The idea of flipped classroom is to create fertile spaces of learning. And we do that by moving teacher explanation of concepts, delivery of procedures and instructions, student practice exercises, as some of you said, math practices, or grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, all these practices, receptive skills in terms of language practices, reading or listening, those activities can be moved outside the classroom time. Anything you can do from that idea of saving time in class could become an out of class activity. The students can manage themselves. This means that they can productively use collaboration and interaction in the class time. The effectiveness of flipped classroom is underpinned by several educational theories, including active learning theory, pedagogical differentiation theory, and intrinsic motivation theory. Active learning theory posits that students learn best when they are actively involved in their learning process, which is facilitated by the flipped model as it encourages participation and hands-on activities. In terms of pedagogical differentiation, this approach recognizes that students have diverse learning needs and styles. And the flipped classroom allows for personalized instruction tailored to individual students' strengths and weaknesses. In essence, flipping the classroom means that students gain first exposure to new material outside of class, usually via reading or videos, and then use class time to do harder work of assimilating that knowledge, perhaps through problem solving, discussions, role plays, debates, many more. My dear friends, I'm going to pose one more question about the problems you anticipate with this approach. What is that one problem that came to your mind the moment I gave this explanation about flipped classroom? In the chat box, please. Varsha, do you think class control is a problem in this approach? Okay, very good. Technical knowledge to teacher is core. Ah, Sharada, you think absenteeism can go high? Vijay Lakshmi, class control, yes. The moment I explained this theory, this idea, this approach, something came into your mind. Time conversion, class control. Possible chances, like is it even possible or not? Yes, okay. Many of you are saying class control. Is letting go that difficult, my dear friends? Is letting go that difficult? Is letting go, letting the field that is our expertise, letting it go that difficult? Give it a try. It might not be something you want to do every day, but this is something you want to try because letting it go means you are inculcating the idea of learner autonomy. It is the need of our, please believe me. Students have to take the ownership of their learning. They have to learn and they have to become responsible for what they're learning, why they're learning, how they're learning. It is time consuming, Jaya. I agree with that. That is something which I completely agree with all the pressure of creating your management systems in place. This could be something which is time taking, but this is an investment. This is one-time investment. Letting the class control is key. I would love to see if you can shift that mindset and see this from a different perspective. Thank you so much. We're going to go and further discuss about the different phases from my perspective, the different phases that I could understand flipped class model is here on the screen now. The first phase is planning, implementation, the second stage, and third stage I put as use phase. Let's try to see how is my understanding, and it's a time of fill in the blanks, right? Let's have a look at the screen. I'm talking about planning phase. It's planning time. The studies by Dr. Marshall, Jonathan Bergman, and Aaron Sams, they all offer valuable insights into planning. They talk about planning phase in detail. So here I'm going to show you some steps in planning. Thank you so much, Nandita, for that fantastic insight. But let's look at these fill in the blanks and change the mood of idea of collaborating and answering to the questions here. I will give you the word cloud. Maybe you can try that. So you can take the number, put your answer. In the planning phase, we have to identify the core from the Chandrasekharan Nair, thank you. Maybe something from the word cloud that you can match. Core activities, Nandita says. Raghavi, core concept, yes. Core concepts or ideas. Thank you. Create for outside the classroom, number 2. Create from the word cloud, Poonam. You can pick the words from the word cloud. I tried to make it easy for you. Okay. Learning material, thank you. Create learning material for outside the classroom. All this has to happen in planning phase. Design in-class activities. Thank you. The fourth one, address technology and access. The last one, communicate expectations clearly. Thank you so much for that healthy participation in the chat box. Keep it going. We have one more slide where we are going to look into the fill in the blanks. The second phase, implementation phase. Okay. Let me pop the cloud of words. You can pick from there. All right, what is the first one? Keeping different learner styles in mind, manage student. Fantastic. Engagement. Facilitate learning. Thank you, Manisha. Active learning. Offer individual and small group support to students who need. Number 3, who need assistance. Jayashri, correct. Thank you. Monitor student. The last one, progress. Thank you, Kavita. Well done. Provide an incentive for students to prepare for class. This is something which is very important for us to understand, that all the examples cited by the students or the researchers or the educators talk about intrinsic motivation. Assignments can vary. The examples could be something like online quizzes, worksheets, simple content-oriented comprehension questions. All of this are just grading their accuracy to capture the concept, to capture the information in the out-of-class activities. Give me some thumbs up here if you're still with me and if I'm making some sense and you're able to follow the second phase of flipped classroom from my perspective. Thank you. Well done. The last phase, use phase, where we're talking about 3 important steps. Encourage collaboration among students and with the teacher. Provide opportunities for students to learn at their own pace and explore topics in depth. Regularly reflect on the effectiveness of this approach and make adjustments as needed. My dear friends, it is important to implement a flipped learning model which has several benefits. It fosters student-centric approach. It is an approach that promotes better retention of information, as students are encouraged to reflect on their learning and apply knowledge through practical activities and discussions in classroom. So it is not flipping homework to classroom, classwork to homework to classwork, classwork to homework. That is what I want to say. It has become a tongue twister. So it is not that. I'm not flipping classwork to homework. No. This is to reduce physical presence in traditional lectures. This is to inculcate the idea of learning contexts in your own time. We can do it with different approaches. Couple of examples here, as you can see. An activity planned by teacher of grade 6. Keep it to a limited knowledge, not more than a 5-minute or a 6-minute video. Don't give a 1-hour TEDx speech for them to reflect. It's boring, even if it is at home. I don't want to do, I'm not motivated to do. Just keep the video shorter, not more than 3 videos in a week. Motivate, think from students' mindset. How can I motivate them? Another simple example, Google Classroom. I'm going to post the link in the chat, or you're welcome to take a screenshot. This is something which I took from that Prodigy game, or even Khan Academy, a free resource which is available. I want you to help me here with one last activity. We're talking about some true or false statements about flipped classroom. I'm going to pop 7 sentences. You're welcome to put number 1 with T, number 2 with false, whatever your answer is. Let's have a look at it. Yes, Nandita, Khan Academy is an excellent resource. 1 is true. Okay, Nandita says, Manisha, please put the number. It's helpful for people to follow. Which one you said is incorrect? Just choose the number and say T or F. You can move on to the second questions, to second, third. Okay, Nandita, thank you. Swati Sri, thank you. Please put the number. All right, Afreen, thank you so much. Good job. Okay, Sai Vijaya has come to number 4. Manisha has come to 5. Go ahead, Varsha. Sparsishta. I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry. Abhirami, thank you. All right, Kavita has given me the 7th one. Well done, Jayashri. I have all of them in one place. Great. All right, Sandhya, go ahead with the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th one. Vijay Lakshmi has also given me the 7th one. Jyoti, thank you. Great. First one says, this is to reduce homework in class as an assigned classwork as home task. This is not right. My dear friends, please understand that is not flipped classroom. You're not reducing homework. That's not the idea at all. You are setting the stage. You are giving a pre-work. You're exposing your students to the content, the lesson outcomes, the lesson content for the first time out of the class. That is flipped classroom, not reducing homework. Number 4 is also not correct because it is not a complementary approach and replacement for all the other methods. No, this could be one of the approaches, but it's not a replacement at all. I've seen a number of you saying 1 is true. Couple of them were correct, saying that number 1 is false. But I would like you to take a screenshot of this where you're not confusing flipped classroom with this. Afreen, fantastic. Thank you so much. But have a look at the first one. It is not reducing homework. No. Thank you. It doesn't guarantee a student engagement. Maybe there could be some students who are not motivated to do anything at home. What about them? You will have to fill them in once they enter the classroom. Exactly. Saraswati, you're right. They probably, it's not possible for all classrooms. It's not possible for students who are not motivated. You have to gauge the temperature. You have to test the waters. You are the right judge as a teacher for your classroom, for your students, and it is the right approach to understand your learners. Experiment it. Give it a try. After doing the research on flipped classroom back in 2016, I wanted to do a couple of things. So here are some I want statements. I want students to be at the core of the classroom. When I say that, it's not a physical setup. I'm talking about all the learning and planning happening, keeping the student in center. I want students to work, not the teacher. Of course, planning and implementing is teacher's job, but understanding the core content is students' work. To monitor students' progress and answer their questions in class, that's their work. I want that to happen. As a teacher, I want to be an architect of learning experiences who does not require to be at the front of the classroom, but requires to be on the side, as a guide, as a mentor, as a coach. I don't want to steal the stage from my students. And I want to create fertile learning experiences, as learning is important for all the learners in first place. Give me one I want statement in the chat box, my dear colleagues, to conclude this topic. What is your I want statement? It could be as specific as possible. If you're a math teacher, think about what is the I want statement you want. Agree, agree. Yes, give me I want and then the statement. What is the I want statement you really want to do? Number 5. Okay, I want a student-centered classroom. Thank you so much for that beautiful statement, Manisha. Yes, thank you. Yes, you can create your own I want statement. Well done. It is something that you could reflect. And I want to also show you this last slide from Dr. Marshall's. And in the chat box, I'm dropping 2 links. This is a fantastic questionnaire to reflect on understanding what sort of creating spaces as a teacher am I doing. Vijayalakshmi, thank you so much for that statement. I want the concepts learned by students to apply in their life. Fantastic I want statement. I want students to research and create something new. So in the links in the chat box I have provided, please do idea of what Dr. Marshall is trying to give us, trying to teach us. An excellent idea of self-reflection here. With that in mind, I'm going to stop it here and open the floor for question and answers. Thank you so much for that beautiful participation in the chat box.
So, dear participants, if you have any questions related to the session, do paste it in the chat box, please.
For Selvi, thank you. Sai Vijaya, is that your I want statement? Yes, eye contact. As an English teacher, I want my students to communicate and develop their vocabulary skills. Fantastic. I want students to research and create something new. Well done. Well done. I want students take part in all activities. Yes. Thank you so much, Aman. Any questions? Anybody?
It's just the positive feedback about the session, ma'am. I
I know,
believe
I'm
everybody
thankful.
liked the session a lot. It was very interactive and informative as well.
Thank you so much. Yes, there are 277 people on a Saturday evening. I'm blessed to be here. Thank you so much for all that participation, my dear friends. I want students to be fully engaged. Poor Selvi, yes, we all want that. How to make slow learner to be more active participant? Nandita, very specific to that question, I might not be able to answer in this forum, but student motivation is the reason why we feel they are slow learners. They have their own learning style. Let that be. When you're looking at that from a different perspective, you will not tag a learner as a slow learner. He is probably a different learner, a unique pattern of learning style. So think about it. It is purely based on intrinsic motivation. Think about that aspect. How many student feedback of homework would be? How students' feedback on homework would be? You can create a Google form, simple, Gayatri. I think that was on the first session that I did about feedback and providing aspects of feedback. So you're welcome to explore that in the YouTube. Okay, any other questions? Have I missed? So motivation is there from teacher, but parent support is low. Yes, I agree. You have to inculcate. You have to take the responsibility on shoulders, Nandita. You have to create the idea of connecting with the community. So community doesn't mean you're talking about entire world. For a learner, a community is teacher, me, my parents. That's a community. My classroom, yeah, my 4th one. I can't forget my classroom. So you have to be the one who is creating that. Invite parents as guest lecturers. It need not be a very, very interesting topic or an intelligent topic. Just ask the parent, to share their life experiences in a classroom. Associate them with the concepts that you have in the classroom. Motivation works differently for different people. Thank you. All right. Have I missed any question?
No, ma'am. I believe the questions we don't have any other question. So we'll move towards the conclusion of this session now. So it was such
Absolutely.
an incredible day of learning that we had. And for this session, we explored about the creative strategies to transform the teaching methods and inspire our students. A heartfelt thank you to our esteemed speaker, Ms. Aditya, for guiding us throughout the session and with such an expertise and enthusiasm as well. Your insights and practical tools were truly invaluable, ma'am.
Thank
Now
you.
comes the time for an exciting quiz as well. So, dear participants, we are pasting the quiz link in the chat box, with the help of which you can answer the questions for the quiz. Do remember that you have to copy paste this particular link in a different browser so you are not missing the track of it. And also, this link will be available till tomorrow, which is 22nd December, midnight. So do revisit the sessions available on YouTube as well with the name Estrand Academy. After the quiz closes, we will be announcing 5 lucky winners with the Amazon vouchers worth up to 5,000 each. So we'll just paste the quiz link in the chat box. Do copy paste the quiz link so that you are not losing the track of it. And dear participants, you can revisit all the sessions which are available on our YouTube channel, Estrand Academy. We'll wait for another few minutes. So all the participants, please copy paste the quiz link, which will be available till tomorrow midnight. Do revisit the all the sessions which are available on our YouTube channel. All right, participants, last call to copy paste the quiz link, because once this meeting ends, you will not be able to receive the quiz link. All right. So we'll move towards the conclusion of this session. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again for your participation. All the participants, thank you so much for your participation. Do remember the quiz is open till tomorrow midnight. So do fill in the quiz and do revisit the YouTube channel to visit all the sessions that we have covered so far. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.